swing port from here. It'll move a little bit. Oh, I wouldn't. No. Oh, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. If you throw any more, I think it falls out.
Oh, no, I was thinking less, actually.
No, I think control's the right
But I
way.
think, yeah.
Like, if you're looking for numbers, I'd probably throw like 320, but not more than that.
Dude, there's a stupid race too.
Well, there is, but
I got so much of it. Yeah.
Okay,
Good control.
just take your thoughts.
because they could raise us in to 3.
Nice control here.
Good afternoon, all those out there in the internet land. Welcome to the Potomac Curling Club at the National Capital Curling Center. I am Michael Dobbs, and with me today is the lovely Christina Lessie.
Hello.
We are bringing you live curling from the Potomac Curling Club, of course, during our Cherry Blossom Bonspiel. Today's match features Broomshooter 4, a new broom, throwing red rocks. They will be competing against the Canucks, throwing yellow rocks. We will, of course, have live action from all 4 sheets today, score updates, and hopefully some good commentary and some good curling.
Control.
So if you are looking at the scoreboard, the hammer has been placed on the yellow side. However, it appears that red, which is Team Broomshooter, has hammer in this first end.
good. Easy, easy, easy. It's gotta move, it's gotta move. What do you like? You like here? Line's good. Make sure it's in, guys.
Thank you.
Gotta be in, guys.
Gotta move, guys.
Some more weight,
Whoa,
John.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Here it comes.
We in?
Brandon, give me a roll. Give me a roll, Brandon.
Sweet! Sweet!
Good shot.
Wow. Sweet! Cut.
Yep. Yes, Milan, yes. Oh boy, that's well the line. All right, Grandma, we're on the front yellow.
Yep. Yeah, right. Hard, guys, hard. Might get little pieces, little pieces. Center line. Here's fine. Here's great.
I think you can get here, buddy.
Line's good. Where's the weight? Yep. Yep for line. Hard for line. All right, now. Yeah, bring it to finish. Sorry.
Looks light. Yes, line. Sweet. Hard line, race. Hard. Race. Now split out.
Pick it up. Needs to be kind of heavy.
Line's okay, just wait. Wait only. Line's fine. Let it move. Easy. Control up.
We're down to the final 2 rocks here on sheet B with Broomshooter 4 versus the Canucks. Red has the hammer, so yellow will throw their last rock first. Yellow looks like they're calling for a straight nose hit or slightly off nose to avoid a jam in the back of the house. This is the skip for the Canucks, Dean Cattler, a local Potomac man. He's going to make the hit. Rolls past the guard a bit, but that doesn't matter to him. It's a nice shot.
Yep, yellow is currently sitting 2, so the best, actually yellow is currently sitting 3, I believe. So the best that Team Broomshooter can hope for is to take their 1, reduce the damage.
Move on to the next end, absolutely. Ice is a little tight for the draw to the button. The reason he's doing this is to give himself backing. This is the skip for the Red Rocks, Broomshooter 4, TJ Burkett.
And the Broomshooter team is from Columbus.
Vice encouraging his sweepers to make sure it's in the house.
And jumping in to help out.
It's close. It's in the house.
Is it far enough? No, but it will
It
cut
outcounts
yellow
the back
down
one.
to 2.
That's
so
2 points for the Canucks. They will take the lead and retain the first rock. Broomshooter 4 will have the hammer in the second end. Over on sheet C, Jalapeno Business scored 1 in the first end. And sheets A and D are still playing the first end.
the Canucks drew their first rock into the 4-foot. And Team Broomshooter ticked it, but was not quite able to take it out. we had a little bit of a free guard zone violation. The red rock took out the yellow guard, but as that was still one of the first 4 red rocks of the game, they have replaced the yellow rock.
TJ Burkett for Team Broomshooter 4 calling for the double. He's going to try and throw an inside-out takeout, hit the yellow rock on the nose, and make them both move. The rock over curls and crashes on the guard, but the sweepers manage to bring it into the house. Those rocks are always dangerous. Sometimes they can give you extra points at the conclusion of an end. Yellow's rock coming into the house a little deep here.
He's going to try to get rid of some of those rocks. I think there is a triple there, but it is more than likely that he will just end up getting rid of 2, which they'd still be really happy with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe I'm having a few technical difficulties with my headset. My apologies to the audience. I know they love to hear my sultry voice. Pile of yellow rocks there and behind the tee line. Red does come down and take it out. There is 1 yellow rock remaining and 2 red rocks in the house. And looking significantly better for Broomshooter 4.
Although yellow, the Canucks are still sitting shot.
Yeah, but if I'm yellow, I'm a little nervous.
Oh, of course. It's wide open. Score update from sheet A. The yellow team, Team Oyer, scored 2 in the first end. And sheet D is currently playing the second end, but they have not hung their score. We will get you that score as soon as they hang it.
Back here on sheet B, yellow did successfully execute their hit and stick. Yellow is currently sitting 2. Broomshooter 4 is going to try the just about nose double to lie 2 in the house. Rock looks a hair wide. It is not coming back. It does chip the top yellow and knock it all the way through the house.
That is, in fact, out of play. They have not moved it yet, but from this angle, it appears to be over the sideline.
This is Vice, Shauna Cattler throwing. Making the hit. Rolling over towards their other stone.
The team list says Shauna Cattler is playing Vice, but that was Cedar Kennedy throwing the third rocks. Shauna Cattler, I believe, is throwing lead rocks.
This one's staying on target. Hitting the top one, flopping over a little, and flopping over a little too much. They would have loved to sit in front of that yellow rock to set up a jam possibility. Rock needs to move. Makes contact, but rolls out of the house.
And we do finally have a score update from sheet D. Red, the Remarkables, took 1 point in the first end.
Back here on sheet B, the Red Rocks, Broomstones 4, they will look to hit and sit somewhere in the house to keep their chance of a deuce alive and well.
That is Broomshooter, not Broomstones.
Broomshooter 4.
They are from Columbus, and they are the fourth iteration of this team. This team has been here the past 3 years. This is their fourth year at Cherry Blossom. They traditionally will do a Broomshooter prior to every game, and it's actually gone pretty well for them in previous years.
They make the hit, but unfortunately roll out, so they will probably go for a blank. Canucks throwing yellow here. They're going to look to put this rock in the house, but in a hard position to hit. Rock looks a little heavy. Past the tee and through the house. Broomshooter 4 will have the option of either drawing to an open house for one or throwing it through and keeping the hammer. You'll get teams debating this back and forth, which option is best. I think most teams at the elite level would say, oh, go through the house, keep the hammer. Sometimes in a social bonspiel or at the club level, you will want to just get the point, narrow the scoring zone, and even sometimes get rid of the hammer, change the game up. It looks like, I don't know what they're calling for yet. They could be trying a line, and that is through the house. That will be a blank here in the second end. Broomshooter 4 still not on the scoreboard, but the Canucks have 2.
On sheet C, the Brandon Morse experience scored 2 in the second end. They are now up 2-1 over Jalapeno Business.
Yep.
Apologies for the camera confusion.
Really good rock. Really good rock. Good rock shot. Guys.
While we are setting up the third end, I will remind our viewers that we are watching the chat window, so if you have questions or comments for us, feel free to put them there and we will attempt to address them.
Yeah, fine. Let's wait.
Hello, Scott. Like I said, we will address your comments. If you say hi, we'll just say hi back. Yellow is just trying to draw behind that guard.
Super hot. You like anything? All right. Normal. Yep.
Okay, free guard here's fine.
Yep. Full line. All right, great. Up.
Got it. Okay.
Team Broomshooter draws to the 8-foot. I believe they were going for something a little bit higher than that, potentially a guard, but now the yellow team is going to try to take that rock out. And they succeed.
Right here. Great. Are we in?
rock's going to go a little bit deep. And, yep, it goes all the way through. House is still wide open. Just the one yellow guard.
Lights tight. Way inside. A little wider. We got the bump. We got the bump. Easy, easy, easy.
Yellow has bumped their own guard and didn't quite push it into the house, so now yellow has 2 corner guards as opposed to 1 center guard.
Yeah, it's got to curl. It's just start curling. Jimmy, yeah. Jimmy. Okay. Beginning of the bite.
Ready? Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike. So much for that, too. Harder. Keep sweeping. Run out of range. I'm on. Heavy!
And that rock, I believe, is counting. Biting the tiniest bit of the house.
Start to move a little bit more. Start to move a little more. You like hitting? Of this? What do you like, guard? Line's good, just wait. Wait only. All the way, guys, park. Wait. Hey, let it curl. We got lots. We got enough to get there. We got enough to get there. Top of the house is fine. Let it curl, let it curl, let it curl, let it curl. You like this? It's done.
It's a really nice draw for yellow. And now red is going to try to take that one out.
Lots of line, guys. Lots of line. Are we teed?
Yes, Brandon.
Are we behind? Yeah, we're back.
Whoa.
Bring it there. Bring it to right to the back. Oh, it's
Whoa.
going. It's going. It's going.
Whoa, whoa.
Nicely right by the guard, chipping the yellow rock out. Unfortunately rolling out. I think they would have loved to stuck around. But that's just fine.
4 here. Little less. Little less ice.
Another score update on sheet D. The yellow team, Austin Leary, scored 1 in the second. That game is now tied.
Got a curl. Got a curl.
That rock does wind up in the back of the house.
It's a 6.
Yellow is currently sitting 2.
You got this back here. This is okay, too. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Broomshooter 4 looking to get into the house now. Either drawing behind the guard or sitting against the backing. Red makes the hit and sit in the back of the house. Red is sitting 1. Dean Cattler shooting for the Canucks. Going with a down weight rock. He needs to get by the guard. Just wicks off. Spills into the house. Into the back of the house. And is sitting shot. Rock looks about maybe a third or buried or less. So should be very possible for Broomshooter 4, throwing red rocks, to come down, tap that out, and sit 2. Dean got really lucky with the wick off of that guard.
And it looks like sheet A has finally finished the second end. It was 2 points for yellow. So Team Oyer is up 4-0. Curling is a game that can be played at many different paces, so sometimes you end up with a game that's going like clockwork, and sometimes a game just takes a little bit longer.
That's quite a lot longer. Yeah, 47 minutes for 2 ends. They need to pick up the pace a little bit. Needs to get by the guard.
He did.
Close.
He's going to get it.
Made it by.
Very nice. Red is now sitting 2. It's a great position for them to be in.
I'm sure that sweeper is really tired, but at least they made the shot. Feels a little gratifying knowing that if you hadn't been sweeping that rock, it would have been a miss.
It's only the third end. Ask him how he feels in the second.
Very true. I'm generally a skip. I have limited recent experience with sweeping for 8 ends. Cattler looking at his options. The double's not really there. Unfortunately, that yellow rock on the front of the house, left side, blocks the angle for the double. Looks like he's going to try and follow red down, hit the new red rock, and then flop right just a bit and use the red rock center line as backing. If we had a telestrator, I'd show you what I'm talking about.
Although I think I would have been tempted to try to just draw to the front red.
It's kind of plan B, but
yeah.
This needs to move.
This is...
Right, it's off the guard.
Past the guard. It's actually coming in really nicely. Let's see if it makes it far. It's curling, might be curling a little too much.
They got to go for weight, but it looks really nice.
And that is a very nice rock. It's going to be difficult for red to remove it. Although they might try. You could tick it out from the side if you hit it really tightly on the side.
Absolutely. If you're red, you have to try and remove that rock. I mean, if you smash that yellow and you hit the right side of it, it will go out. You can either try and pick it clean and your shooter rolls out, or pick it and jam and hope your shooter stays.
Yes.
Either option gets you 2. And in this game, where points are hard to come by, you're going to want your deuce. This rock is beginning to move. He's by the guard.
And, oh, he's going to roll out. It's just going to be a score of 1.
It's
1
better than
for
giving
red.
up 1. So that is 1 point for Broomshooter 4 here on sheet B. That is after 3 ends. I hit the move cameras button again.
Stop doing that. On sheet C, we had a score of 1 for the Brandon Morse experience. They are now up 3-1 over Jalapeno Business from Triangle. I know we have some Triangle fans out there trying to catch glimpses of that game. We again have a center guard and a draw to the side 8-foot. This is looking pretty similar to the beginning of the last end. And they successfully hit the rock and roll out back to an empty house.
Quick score update from sheet C.
I already gave that score update.
Oh, thank you.
My co-host has been messing with some of the camera software, so he has not been quite as aware of what's going on in the ice shed.
Unfortunately not. By the way, in case you're curious, here we are. Hello, world.
All right, put it back to the curling.
Want to do that? Up to you, whatever. What's the call? Okay. Sorry.
Looks like this rock's going to come in nicely behind the guard. Yeah, great draw, very well protected.
Perfect. That is a heavyweight rock. Unfortunately, scoots by everything. Unfortunate rock for the Canucks.
Let's do this. Let's do NJ. We'll go this way. Yeah. Right here. Yeah, they don't like it. They don't like it. I agree. It's fine.
A nice additional guard for Broomshooter 4 here. That rock is not quite in the house. This one's moving, makes contact.
Takes out the new guard, also moves that guard, the other guard, just enough that the rock on the button might be accessible.
Certainly a helpful result here. Broomshooter 4 obviously calling to throw up another guard and protect shot rock.
The rock is not a guard. It's actually going to move to the back of the house.
It will stick in the back of the house.
Still counting. And the Canucks are going to try to remove that center shot rock.
You know, if they make this hit and roll under, they may just get the double as well.
Meanwhile, on sheet D, the Remarkables scored 3 in the third, and they are now up 4-1.
The Canucks do get by the guard. They don't curl under and roll. They instead roll out just a hair, inviting Broomshooter 4 to take them out, but also setting up the possibility of a jam in the back. Broomshooter 4 can either play this super tight and try and roll under, or just hit and roll to the outside of the house. Eric Johnson discussing across the ice with TJ Burkett. Looks like they're going to go for the hit and roll somewhere. They've certainly got the hit. They're by the guard. Coming in, making the hit, rolling outside.
It's a nice roll. It's going to stick around in the edge of the 12-foot.
Absolutely. If you weren't going to roll under, a roll to far outside is actually great. Makes the doubles harder. Doesn't give the Canucks anything to draw with backing against. Canucks going a little risky here and just trying to draw under. If you make it, very nice. But if you miss it, you might wind up drawing or doing something against 3 by the conclusion of this end. Looks a little wide and heavy in my eyes, but we'll see what happens.
They are still sweeping it.
They're going with plan B and drawing to the backing.
To the back.
They make contact, shove the red out of the house, and our second shot currently.
Looks like they're about to return the favor, take that yellow rock out.
Absolutely. Broomshooter 4 is in a great position to force one and get the hammer back. Little wide. I don't think they're going to stick. It's coming back.
Yeah, I think they will get a piece of it.
Oh,
yeah,
they got
perfect.
nose. Well done, Broomshooter 4. Dean Cattler looking to draw with backing here. Wouldn't mind sitting on that back red one at all. Sweepers have got to work it though. He's just a little lighter than he wanted to be.
It's not
This will,
quite there.
it won't even make the house, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, on sheet A, we had another steal of 2 for Team Oyer. They are now up 6-0 after 3.
Oof. They may be playing slow, but they're winning.
They are still a little less than an end behind, so it looks like they've picked up their pace a little bit. So hopefully the rest of their game will be a bit faster.
Eric Johnson here, checking all the angles, making sure he knows what the plans B and C and D are. The only rule here for red is don't tap the yellow in. Ideally, you'd love to draw behind your own red guard, sit in the top of the forefoot. But if you're a guard, that's fine. If you're in the blocking the hole, top 12, that's fine. As long as you don't pop the yellow in. Line's looking a hair wide, but it's coming back now. The line's looking great.
Yeah, it looks, they're definitely
They need to leave it high.
past all the guards.
Leave it high.
And they do want to get it biting just to give themselves a little bit of an extra cushion in terms of points.
It's a just fine rock. I would even go so far as to say that's very nice. If you're not going to be buried, better to leave it scoring but high so that the Canucks can't just hit and sit on it. Canucks hit and sit on that, it's still 2 red. Canucks are having to go on the left side of the ice now, where no one's been all end long, and just kind of guess. Throw a draw, touch white, and save a steal of 3. Rock is away. Line looks fine for now. It's moving. He's by all the guards. Looking really nice.
Yeah, they're sweeping that.
Perfect rock
Very
from
nice.
Dean Cattler and the Canucks. Great sweeping. They managed to draw for 1 against a steal of 3. So the Canucks will go up 3-1 after 4 ends.
Yep, yep. Really curling now. Yep, all the way, guys. All the way.
Good job. Nice card.
You like that or this? Go after this.
It's okay too. That's the net.
The Canucks put up a corner guard with their first shot.
The guard.
Yep. Yes. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And Team Broomshooter has answered with a center guard. So now the Canucks are going to try to draw behind.
Yep, mine's good.
Mine's good.
Here it comes, coming hard.
And they are past the guards. Let's see if this comes to a stop. Good weight, not quite as buried as they would have liked. It's only about half under their guard, but a pretty good result.
Control, please.
Sweet. Sweet. Control. Big control. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Anything, Carl? Yep, Carl.
And that's a nice hit for Team Broomshooter. They will roll out, however, and the house is back to empty. Which means the Canucks get to try their draw one more time, try to get it a little bit more buried.
Mine's a little thin.
The second for the Canucks. Hudson Kennedy, he just threw this shot, which, depending on who you ask, either means that he is well practiced and should do better than he did last time, or might just be the hardest shot in all of curling. Oh, you just did that? Do it again. Okay.
Control. One actor control. Control.
And it looks like Broomshooter is trying to make that same draw and draw behind the forward guard, but from this angle, it does not look like it's going to make it past.
No rotation.
Nope,
at
just
all.
one more guard.
Line's good.
And this draw is a little heavy, but it is sticking around in the back.
Control.
Yellow now has 2 biters, so they are in a pretty good position.
Okay, good. Nice. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, Kim.
Where is it? It needs it there.
And this is a really nice draw for Team Broomshooter. It's going to land in the back 8 foot. However, it is completely exposed, so the Canucks are going to attempt to take it out.
Yep.
They make it by the guard, have a little bit of contact, just enough to shove it out of the house, but keep it in play. It's now a zombie rock. Trademark. Quick score update on sheet C. Jalapeno Business scored 1. The score is now 3-2.
Get it down here.
It's a really nice draw. It's behind the guards, and it is in front of the yellow biter in the back.
They wish that rock was in front of the tee line,
Yes.
but it's at a club level, it's fine. Well by the guard. Into the house. And not quite shot.
It also did not curl as much as they were hoping.
Definitely not.
So it is not, as they had hoped, behind those guards. It is instead wide open and very hittable.
Broomshooter 4 is going to look to just hit that new yellow rock and flop onto the guard. Makes a hit. Rolled a little further than they wanted, but just fine.
To take out that zombie rock in the back.
Aww. Cattler talking over the options and still looking for that perfect draw. If they can glue one in there onto the back red, they'll have them put themselves in a great position.
Team Broomshooter is in a pretty good position right now. They are currently sitting 2, and they have Hammer. However, there is still 1 yellow rock left, so they are trying to figure out the best solution. Something that's going to give them the greatest chance of scoring 2 or more points. And it looks like they've decided to remove that yellow guard, prevent yellow from promoting that rock later. and potentially causing some damage. The rock is a little bit wide, and he actually did exactly what he was trying to prevent and has bumped the yellow rock into what I believe is shot position.
It is. It totally
it
is.
Now that everything has stopped moving, that definitely is shot. So yellow has the option of just trying to guard that.
I don't even think you need to guard it.
There already are guards in front of it. Yeah, so that was possibly the worst possible outcome.
Yes! Reminds me of my rock in the last game, first in. Yo, yeah, make the nose double for 6, or if you hit and roll out, it'll get 3. Oh no, I'm gonna tap them up to the button.
That did happen.
Oh.
I said we should take less ice, but
You did. I went, no, this is fine. All right, Dean, a reminder that yellow does not have the hammer here. They are looking to force or steal. In this case, I think they're looking to just guard up that draw port.
yeah, try to get a steal of 1. And it looks like the game on sheet A did not have a time problem. They have ended after 4. I did not see the score on the last end, but based on the previous ends, I believe that would be a win for Team Oyer over Team Temple.
That's going to be, yes. Broomshooter 4 looking for any kind of angle in. And there's hit the red rock, the red guard on the right side, angle it in to hit the yellow, and you'll get 3. It's such a low percentage shot, though. They're looking at maybe running one of the yellows in. From my perspective, I wouldn't do that simply because you run the risk of giving them 2 yellow.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, can you see any of that yellow poking out the left side? I'm going to guess no.
I don't think so. No, you cannot.
So, in my opinion, they've got 2 options. One, just pick a port, draw through it, try and do full red, take your 1. Or try the super long angle raise takeout with no danger on the right side of your screen. He's looking at it now. Burkett sees it. You know what? If I'm Burkett, I'm thinking, if I make this, it's on the web forever, and I'll be able to watch it again and again and again.
Also, if I miss this, it's been immortalized on the internet. And
yeah, but if you miss this,
everyone can see it.
No one expects you to make this shot. No one expects you to make it. This is one of those 0 risk with a really high reward if you do make the low percentage shot.
Yes. And it's only the 5th end.
Exactly.
If yellow does steal 1, they still have 3 ends to try to make up those 3 points.
just a hair wide. It will be a steal of 1 for yellow here. The Canucks maintain their lead. It is 4-1.
And despite their name, the Canucks are a local Potomac team who all have roots in Canada, but they they live here.
They have Canadian ancestry, absolutely. A quick score update on sheet C. Brandon Morse took 2 in the 5th end. They currently lead 5-2.
Nice hit from Shauna Cattler to clear out that red rock.
Corner guard a little wide there from Broomshooter 4. Line is great. It's curling under.
Really nice weight as well. It's a great shot. Looks like it's not 100% buried,
But it's damn close.
but it's pretty good.
Enough that the Canucks, sorry, that Broomshooter 4 has to be worried about it. This one hangs just a hair wide and goes through the house. Another nice rock from the Canucks here.
And now their shot rock is definitely 100% buried.
Absolutely. I'm not even sure you could make the double here. Broomshooter 4 is going to have to do this one rock at a time.
Well, can we get outside in that first one? Go next one.
Eric Johnson coming down here, give Skip some advice. Yeah, the good news for Broomshooter 4 here is it's only the 6th end. If you get 1 point, it's a 2-point game. They are still in this. They've had some good opportunities throughout this whole game and just haven't quite been able to make it work, or the Canucks have come in with just a perfect rock.
This is by no means a runaway game.
It's 4-1.
Anything could happen. I've seen teams make comebacks from much bigger deficits than this.
Absolutely.
Now, if they are still down 3 in the 8th, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yes. They get around the guard, chip the important one, roll over to a nice corner guard spot.
Yeah.
That is an excellent rock, 4 out of 4. Canucks here looking to put it back. This one winds up a little higher and wider, but still does the job. There is not a hole in
No.
between those two guards.
That rock is in the way.
Interesting, though, because those guards are so high, Broomshooter 4 is calling for a lightweight tap back. They think they can come around the high guard and tap the yellow rock far enough to make their own rock shot.
Moving. I don't know if it's going to move enough. No, it's not going to move enough.
That's
not
a
clear anything
really
out.
unfortunate. You want to play that real tight, so that worst case scenario is you chip the guard and clear out shot rock, or clear and open up on attack at shot rock.
And yellow is going to try to maintain their lead by adding one more guard.
You know, in this case, they don't even mind if they come into the house.
No, not at all.
They're in a great position.
We have a score on sheet C. In the 6th end, the yellow team, Jalapeno Business, took 2. They are now down 4-5. Is that? Yeah.
Canucks just getting by the guard. And almost completely buried. You can probably see about, no, you can't see any of that rock.
You cannot see any of that rock.
And it's biting.
And it's biting. And it's protecting shot rock.
Yeah.
That is a very good rock.
If I'm Broomshooters 4, I'm just clearing a guard. Pick a guard, any guard, and clear it.
And I don't believe we gave a score update on sheet D. For the 5th end, the Remarkables took 1 more point, and the score there is 6-1.
Rockaway here for Broomshooter 4. They are on the guard, curling across the face, but that is a fine result. They open up an attack vector at the 2 yellows in the house.
Tap it, Max.
I like the phrase attack vector. We should use it more. Not just in curling, but everyday life.
Left the line, guys. Okay, perfect. Yep, Jimmy. God, there's a lot right there. Yeah. Yeah, the spot there.
Unfortunately, attack vector is actually only 4 syllables, but you could certainly put it into a haiku.
I think it ends with attack vector. Yay!
All right. Well, if any of our viewers would like to write a haiku about attack vectors, or really anything else, please go ahead and share those.
They put up a guard. I managed to make the peel. Attack vector. Yay!
So now you have a baseline. I think you can do better than that.
Aww. Well, back here on sheet B on the ice, the Canucks managed to put another guard in play, thoroughly protecting their shot rock. You can't get to it with the rocks that close together. If I'm Broomshooter 4, I'm just smashing the heck out of that, making both yellows go away.
Normal.
Broomshooter 4 taking their time, deciding what to do.
Yep, hard. Yep. Hard. Okay, up.
This one looks a little wide.
Yeah, it's going to go
Oh.
right past. But we do have a haiku. Thanks, Mindy.
Attack vector comes. No rocks can stand in my way. All houses are mine.
Very nice.
Back here on the ice, the Canucks looking to put up another guard, trying to block the draw path on the right side of the sheet. They will successfully block the draw path. That is just a lot of yellow rocks inside the 4-foot lines. Broomshooter 4 will have no option but to draw around this mess and try and grab a piece of the 4-foot. This is a better one. No open takeouts. Attack vector created. Darn. Guarded again. Very nice, Scott. Skips rock here. The hammer coming from TJ Burgett for Broomshooter 4. They're trying to get a piece of the 4-foot. This rock is close, but over curling. Super close. Wicking off the guard. And the Canucks will steal 2. The score is currently 6-1 here on Sheet B. Canucks over Broomshooter 4.
That's about where she was.
Are you editing the haiku to have 8 syllables in the center line? Because that's not how haikus work.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yes, Jimmy. Jimmy, yes. Over and up, over and up. Over and up.
Easy, guys. Easy, guys. Easy.
Need a guard or I'm conceding. Gotta have a guard. Miss is a guard.
Canucks putting up a nice center guard here. I'm not sure I would have thrown that rock, given that if I were up 5, I would want to play a very open game. I might have drawn to the 4-foot or just thrown it through.
Very nice. An alternate definition of haiku. Revolution on Mount Everest. Well done.
Broomshooter 4 with a successful corner guard. A little tight, maybe. Apparently some action happening on the sheet next door. Still hear it on the microphones. Sorry, hopping won't help it slow down. This one's going through the house.
All right, one more over here, buddy.
Broomshooter 4 calling for one more guard.
Whoa, it's heavy.
And a successful corner guard. A little further out, but that's just fine.
Bump that.
All you guys. Yes, Mike. Kip. Yes.
Dean Cattler on the Canucks opting to ignore those corner guards and just draw behind their center.
Line's tight. We're gonna get the wick. Yep.
They're going to wind up wicking their own guard. They wick, move the guard to the other side of the center line, and do flop in behind the corner guard. That result is just fine.
Yeah, that's a really great rock. From the right-hand attack, you will still be able to get to it, but that is not a takeout that people practice on a regular basis. It is way out in the wings.
Oh, yeah, Eric. Okay, we're going to run this back. Whoa. Run it back.
They're going to call an audible here. Try and run that guard back. It overcurls just a little bit for that shot. They do reveal the yellow rock in the house, but not what they were planning on.
No. They would have loved it if that red rock had stuck around.
Or gotten the straight run back.
Or gotten the straight run back.
Line's better. Yep. Pull away, guys. No line. It's just wait. Easy. Hold on. Either high.
This one looks a little light for the call. Winds up another center guard. Broomshooter 4 opting for the draw.
Yeah. Brandon. Hard, Brandon.
Looks a little tight on the guards. They do manage to get it around.
And it is shot.
It is shot and about a third buried. Dean Cattler quickly calling for the takeout here. Dean calling his supers off.
That rock needs to
That's
curl.
a heavy rock.
And it's not doing so. Yep, straight through.
I didn't think that hole was there. Good break for Broomshooter 4. They can opt to promote up. They can opt for the hit and roll.
Yeah, at this point, they just want to get rocks in the house. They need points.
Absolutely. They are opting for the inside-out hit on the yellow rock, and they're going to try and roll their shooter back towards the center line. They are opting to play a race to the button. I do expect this rock to move on them. It's way over curling, but they do make nose. Dean once again quickly going to the hit call. This rock looks a little better. Makes the hit, but it does roll out. Quick score update over on sheet C. Brandon Morse took 2 more points. The score is currently 7-4. RNLK, thank you for that wonderful alternate definition of a haiku. My lovely co-commentator here has made a haiku of your haiku. A revolution on top of Mount Everest. It was a haiku. Oh my.
I'm glad it made you laugh.
Back here on sheet B, Broomshooter 4 is sitting 2. The Canucks looking to take one of those red rocks out. They will make contact, not roll as far as they wanted. There are 3 rocks left this end. Broomshooter 4 with a hammer. We'll get to throw 2 of them. They have a choice. They can ignore that new yellow rock, kind of use it as a blocker and just draw through the port. They could play the in-off off of it, try and put another one under cover. It's probably what I would try.
Meanwhile, over on sheet D, red scored 2 in the 6th. The score is now 8 for the Remarkables to 1 for Austin Leary.
That game will go into handshakes pretty quickly here. Burkett, again, opting for the hit here. Good. It just took a little more ice. Based on the way the inside-out hits have been going, that's definitely a good call. They will try and hit the inside of this yellow rock and roll towards the center just a bit. The rock is away. It's moving.
Sweep that hard.
All the way, all the way.
That hard. It's curling.
It's over
Hitting the
curling.
outside. That is
This is not the end of the world.
not what they wanted.
Certainly not. But red is still shot. And their shooter rolled and stayed in the house. So a 3 is still open here. I mean, if you're Dean Cattler, I would almost just throw a guard up, give them the opportunity to get 2 or 3, or 2, but not 3,
2 but not 3.
and then get the hammer back.
I'd really try to limit them to 1 and take the hammer back.
Absolutely. You can also try just the T-way tap up here. That's either ice for the hit on the outside red or the promote. I'm going to go with they're trying this promote on the yellow. Yep.
Yes.
This rock looks a little wide. They're waiting for it to come back. They don't mind a guard at all, or they can tick their own rock up. They do make a bit of a tick.
It's a nice shot for them. It puts them in second shot position, but it also guards their rock. So it's going to be very difficult for red to take more than 1.
All red has is a draw all the way around the left side, or an off their own rock on the right side of the 12-foot.
That might be the safer bet. No one has thrown on the other side in quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to play on the left side, play the raise of the red on the left side of the center line.
Yes,
But there's not a ton of danger in that one.
true.
Anything on the right side you try and do with these yellow rocks, it's a big risk.
Absolutely.
But I mean, even if you do make the draw for 2, you're still down 3 without hammer. You
Exactly.
got a long way to go.
It's a difficult road to steal 3.
Yes, absolutely. Although I think I've done it. It happens.
Oh, it
Crazy
does.
stuff happens.
It does happen.
A team goes from playing, dirty it up and draw to the center to try and play it clean. They miss 2 hits and boom, game on. Well, Broomshooter 4 is gonna opt for some kind of a hit here, trying a double.
Ooh. Okay, I see what they're looking at.
I don't think they're going to avoid the jam off their shot rock, but we'll see what happens. You do have to throw the rock.
That is on a guard.
No harm.
No harm done, but it's just going to be a 1 for red, and that appears to be handshakes. So the Canucks have taken this game.
That is handshakes here on sheet B. Canucks 6, Broomshooter 4. Canucks will move on in the A event? Was this an A event game?
This is an A event game, yes. This
There
is
we
the
go.
first game for both of these teams.
Broomshooter 4 will fall to the B event here.
And we also have handshakes on sheet C. I did not see the final end, so we will confirm who won that game before we
Highly
make
likely.
a call.
Highly likely it was Brandon Norris.
Highly likely, but we will find out. So we will take you guys over to sheet D for some continued curling action And while you're all here, I would highly recommend that all of you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If we get enough subscribers, we get some fun perks like being able to put a custom URL and some other stuff like that.
Actually, we need to thank our previous subscribers because we earned that privilege
All right.
a couple days ago.
Awesome.
So we are now the Potomac Curling Club channel, youtube.com/c/Potomac Curling Club.
Very nice. But you should still subscribe to our channel because it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And if we eventually hit, what is it, something like 1,000 subscribers, we can start monetizing our channel.
That sounds delightful.
It's probably never going to happen.
I also hope you all join us for the 2:30 draw, and especially for the 6 o'clock draw, because your commentators will be playing in that draw. I don't know who will be commentating on it, but we know the curling will be good.
Wow. The curling will be interesting.
The curling will be entertaining. So over here on sheet D, we don't have the best camera angles, but red is sitting 1, and it is behind some guards. Red is also up 8-1, so yellow has some catching up to do in this game. This is a... Ooh, they didn't quite get past the guards.
But a great roll in.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice position. That is a rock that they should be able to hit later to move the red rock behind it.
Yeah. There are, it appears, 4 rocks left to go. Yellow has the hammer. Red is currently throwing. And as you can see, red is shot. But yellow is sitting 2, 3, and 4.
It's definitely a good position for yellow. They need to get a big end to stay in this game.
This is set up to, if 1 or 2 mistakes from red, yellow could wind up 4, 5. Anything, well, not more than 5, obviously. Rock is away for the red team here. Trying to draw in here. They wind up freezing to the yellow here.
That is going to help prevent a big end from yellow. There are still some options available.
If I'm yellow, I want to try and come and basically pretend that new red rock isn't there, smack my yellow on the nose, and I may wind up with enough of a drag effect, if I have enough weight on this rock,
Yes.
to run the yellow straight back and hit the red and sit 4.
Well, yes, while also shooting that red out to the side.
Yep.
Yes.
And you'll lose your shooter probably.
I would love to see that shot executed.
The rocks may not be quite frozen enough to get the right drag effect.
And they are not calling the ice
No.
for that. So, unfortunately, we are not going to see that shot.
It's more of a draw.
They are just going to draw. A very reasonable choice.
By the way, in case you don't know, Pacific Rim Uprising is now in theaters. Leave your brains at home. Bring your inner 9-year-old boy. They make a little contact there, shoving the yellow around, unfortunately. Well, it's, the run back is still there now. Red onto yellow onto red, and both the reds will probably go away if you make it right. You'd have to throw a ton of weight.
It looks like red is also calling for the draw. And that is a very nice draw. It is second shot. Yellow may be able to hit it.
It's one of those rocks where it's fine.
It's okay. It's not.
I can be picky about it and say, oh, it's a little deep. It opens up an additional attack vector on shot red. Yellow can totally just nose that and sit 2. If I were red, I would have preferred a guard there, I think. Or deeper. Just not there. If I'm being really, really picky.
Even a score of 2 by yellow will put red up 5 with hammer in the last.
Yeah. Yep.
And there is only 1 rock left. So yellow is throwing hammer.
Which.
And
I don't think the triple's there.
Yellow made the hit, but red still scored 1 point, and there are handshakes. The game goes to red. Thanks for joining us. We'll have another draw starting shortly.
I've been one of your commentators, Michael Dobbs, and joining me was Christina Lessie. Thank you again from the Potomac Curling Club at the National Capital Curling Center, showing you our Cherry Blossom Bonspiel, 18th annual. We'll see you shortly.